Welcome back to the London is Blue podcast channel. This is a clip of our Burnley match review. If you want to listen to the whole thing, check it out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for London is Blue. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.
All right, so here we are to the Mount Tay and King Kai. Which, why does King Kai get his own, but we had to combine Mount and Conte? That just doesn't seem fair to me, especially because, like, Mountain Kai are the 8s and goes the 6. Tweeds, I got questions.
This is the thing you take umbrage with.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right,
so
we know what bothers you now.
Obviously, the 4-3-3 being the place to be. Those 3 in the middle. N'Golo Kante, his game by numbers versus Burnley coming to you from Squawka. 100% aerials won because he's massively tall. 100% cross completion. 100 touches. 96% pass accuracy. 4 ball recoveries, 3 tackles, a couple of interceptions, a foul won, a shot, and a chance created. A masterful display. I don't know. Where do you want to go with this one, Mr. Dormer, when it comes to N'Golo Kante? This is, I guess, like, is the dip over? I mean, is as long as he's healthy, this is the guy we know of.
It was great. It was... Look, is it where he naturally sits in the pitch as the 6 kind of holding in front of the center backs? Not really. That's not where we've seen him potentially be the most effective. You know, it was really great in the Leicester side with another Chelsea player who we will not name, and kind of being able to just dominate going box to box. But he can do a job here. And I think what we saw is the benefit of N'Golo Kante actually getting to rest occasionally, where he's not being relied upon to play every single match that we go game in and game out. There are going to be stretches of the season where that is going to have to happen because of the quick turnaround. But I think maybe if Lampard is able to continue to spell him a little bit against some of these sides in the Champions League, allow us to give him 45 minutes off, 60 minutes off, maybe a match off here and there, and we can keep him this fresh, we're going to get someone who is dominant. He looked very strong in this performance. He looked very comfortable yesterday, and this was about as vintage in terms of just a absolutely dominant performance, I think, that we've seen from Conte in quite some time yet.
Yeah. Do you know what's really? I agree wholeheartedly. But what is an important thing to say at this point is Kante's played, I think, really well in this lone 6 role against opposition where we've got really high possession, and it's great. And I mean, it looks like, defensively immaculate, but the jury, although it does seem perfect, and I've been hyperbolic about this as well on my channel and stuff, so I'm just as amped as every other Chelsea fan watching that midfield, but the jury has to be out a little bit until you see those 2 particular attacking 8s and N'Golo Kante against opposition who's going to also want loads of the ball and put in a really high press as well. And what happens in that final third transition to defence when you got some of the elites running at you. So the jury's still out, and then, would Frank even risk that formation? Part of me thinks, yeah, it could work because of the industry that we know Mason Mount has, and the industry that looks like Kai Havertz is capable of, slide tackles, running back, he might all be like, he's not just a Galactico attacker. So it could work if they all work together defensively, but I think jury's still out a little bit. I think N'Golo Kante can't play all the games because of stuff you've discussed loads of times on this show about his injury record and fatigue and stuff. Who comes in instead of him in that formation? Jorginho? I don't think so. Not, maybe Billy Gilmore, Kovacic, no. We all love the shape. We all love how it brings the best out of the defenders and the attackers. But is it something that we can be consistent with all season? I'm not so sure. But yeah, I know I've sort of dragged that slightly away from Kante. Sorry, Brandon.
No, you're good. I mean, he just said that he's the piece that makes it all work together. And if, to your point, if we want to play this 4-3-3 consistently, but N'Golo Kante can't be there consistently, now we have a bit of a situation. So sure. I don't know, Nick.
I have the solution, I think. I was thinking about this yesterday because I think your point is incredibly well taken. Yeah, and that
thanks, man.
Against your Man Cities, maybe the way it's structured yesterday is the exact solution. But I actually do think that you put Kovacic back as the 6 because I think he moves the ball quicker. And then I do think that either Mason or Kai, most likely Mason in this case, maybe Kai, I don't know, misses out because of the pressing ability. Because I think you have to counter press City and Liverpool. I think you have to at times give it as good as you get it for it to be successful. So then I think you put N'Golo up front where he played, in the Sarri system as one of the 8s and let him kind of press higher because that's an outlet then that you can potentially win the ball upfield. So maybe that works. I don't know if Frank would do that, but he was immaculate yesterday. And I think the thing that we didn't talk about is he had a through ball that was chef's kiss. I mean, it was beautiful.
That's a welcome change as well.
He drew defenders toward him and then was like, nope, bloop. Just a nice little perfectly weighted pass. And I don't know. I think you guys know how much I love him as a player. He's my favorite player on the team. So.
Yeah, no, it was pretty fantastic, obviously. The best part about it was he wasn't the only one. Squawka also teeing up one for Mason. He said, Mason Mount for Chelsea versus Burnley. Most passes completed in the opponent's half, 47. Most chances created with 3. Most shots attempted with 3. Most take-ons completed 3. Most tackles 3. Most shots on target 2. And most assists 1. He did pretty much everything. So I guess before we get into Nick's eye test, Dan, I will let you speak on Mason, and then we can turn it over.
I mean, all you need to do is watch his post-match interview where he talked about the string of matches that we've won, the clean sheets we kept together, and he talked about the fact that he was able to play his best position and how much he enjoyed it. And Mason Mount is a midfielder. And stop. That is the end of the conversation. Will he continue to get deployed in a wing at some point? Yep, because that's what Frank is going to do. Frank is going to do it at points because he is so gifted in his ability that he can be deployed there in a pinch. I think it'll be interesting to see with a healthy Pulisic, with Callum being available, with Timo being an option on the wings, with Tammy being strong. Does he maybe relent from trying to do the square peg round hole situation and try to get Mason onto the pitch in that wing position? But in general, Nick, I think it's great to see him played in an area where we know he can be successful, and the positive response that we saw yesterday from fans and supporters, both from people who stand for the man, but people who also maybe were critical of Mason, especially from performances earlier this season where he was on the wing, changed their tune, getting a chance to see him play in the midfield.
Yeah, I mean, I think I know we're getting to the day of the match later, but my eye test was that he was my man of the match. I think he was excellent yesterday, and I sent out a tweet that people responded positively to, saying that the haters are awful quiet.
Your first
right
one.
Now. Yeah, my first ever tweet. You guys go like that because it made me feel good. He was just excellent. I mean, like, some of the things that stood out, right? The tackles that he made. One sliding tackle that was full of shithousery, which I loved. The crossfield balls to Reece James in the wind yesterday were superb. And we didn't see that a ton last year, if I'm honest. Like, sometimes our center backs would put a good one in, but we're seeing a lot more crossfield switching of play this year, and Mason was huge in that yesterday. He was our most dangerous attacking player before the first goal. He was the one carrying the ball upfield, getting into the opposition final third and making dangerous passes. I mean, it was a little bit more muted in the second half because he didn't have as much to do, and we were comfortably ahead. And Edouard Mendy was kind of the weekend at Burnley's in goal, just kind of chilling out. But I thought he was superb yesterday, and as an attacking 8 that has still a fair amount to do defensively, Brandon, this is a guy that can make this team go. He can be an engine type of guy.
That's exactly what his role is as a lot of us play Ultimate Team. I mean, you're slapping that engine card on him because he's gonna go box to box and he's gonna help N'Golo Kante defend. He's gonna help Kai Havertz attack, and it was great to see him have the freedom to do it. I guess Yan, for you, I'll let you decide if you want to talk about Mount or Havertz or maybe combine them.
Well, I'll have a little word for Havertz in a sec, but yeah, I want to sort of just continue on Mount a little bit more. On Match of the Day, they spent some time talking about him. They were split on Ziyech or Mason Mount for man of the match, but yeah, like Nick said, the switching of play, the cross-field long diagonals, like rightly said, in the wind, multiple slide tackles, intricate close play, super, like genuinely the complete performance that we know he's capable of. He obviously got the assist from the corner as well for Zuma, which is a lovely corner. We've seen him score direct free kicks and stuff. He really is such an amazing young man at Chelsea Football Club, and his attitude is second to none as well. The way he talks, he's like young, humble academy lad, but just there for all the right reasons. So he deserves immense amount of praise, and it's kind of like a cool narrative how his counterpart on the other attacking eight is Kai Havertz, this German lad, the same age as him, similar players, obviously not much, he's much more coveted around Europe than Mason Mount. But, seemingly is humble as well in different ways, quite a shy guy, and also surprising us with his defensive work. So it's really impressive, basically, both of them. And although Kai wasn't like as good as Mason in that match, he's pretty much demonstrating how he can do a bit more of the defensive graft as well, which means he's definitely safe to be in the team wherever, pretty much.